Hello, today we are going over transforming equations. Another thing that we call that is solving for another variable, okay? To transform, okay, means to change. When I think of transform, I think of Transformers, the movies. You know, I think most of you have seen a lot of that, or at least one of those movies. You know, think about it, those transformers, those robots change down to those vehicles, you know, those cars, and then they change back to the robots. So they're changing, okay? But the aspects about them, you know, visually they look different, but their form is still the same. The inside of them is still the same. That's the same thing for equations. Visually, when we transform them, they will look different, but they are still going to be the same thing. Okay, you're going to have all those same terms and all those same numbers in there. All we're doing is just changing the physical or the visual shape of them. Okay. So for example, this first one, solve for r. C equals 2 pi r. This is the circumference formula of a circle. We need to solve for that letter r. So sometimes I like to, put a circle around that term that I want to solve for. That means I want to get that all by itself. Okay, so now if I look 2 pi r, they're all right next to each other, so that means we are multiplying. So to get rid of them or to move them to the other side, I have to do the opposite of multiplying and divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. So on the right side, 2 over 2, that simplifies to 1, just like the pi's. Those have canceled each other out, but really what they are doing is that we've simplified them to 1. Okay? So now I have c over 2 pi equals r. We have solved that for r. We got r all by itself. Okay? This next one, solve for y. So like I said earlier, sometimes I like to circle the thing that I'm solving for. Okay, so negative 4y. That's what I want to get all by itself first. Okay, so I can't get the y all by itself right away. I have to get this minus 4y. So I'm going to get rid of this 5x, so minus 5x to both sides. So 5 minus 5 is 0x. So now I have negative 4y equals negative 5x plus 9. Now I want to get the y all by itself. Okay, so I have to get rid of that negative 4. Well, that means we're dividing. Negative 4y means we're multiplying, so I have to divide. So I want to divide both sides by negative 4. So I have y equals negative 5 over negative 4 is 5/4 because two negatives make a positive, minus 9/4. Now remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do everything on the other side. So that's why I divided both of these terms by negative 4. Solve for r. So first thing, I'm going to circle 2r because I want to get that all by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3m from both sides. So h minus 3m equals 2r. So I move the 3m to the left side. Now I want to get this r all by itself. So remember, 2r means 2 times r, so we have to do the opposite and divide. And I'm just going to go ahead and divide both of these by 2. Okay? And for this one, I'm just going to leave it as h minus 3m all over 2 equals r. Now I could have divided both of these by 2. So I could have had h over 2 minus 3 over 2m equals r. That is equivalent. Okay. Remember, you can pause or stop this video at any time. So solve for m. So I'm going to circle m. That's what I want to get all by itself. Remember, if you want, take these one step at a time. You know, we want to get that circle, that m, all by itself. So I need to get rid of the r and the v squared. So look at this. We are dividing mv squared divided by r. So to get rid of division, I have to multiply. So I'm going to multiply each side by r. So I have rf, or you could write that fr. So equals mv squared. Remember, I want to get the m all by itself. So I circled that. Got to think, how do I get rid of that v squared? Well, m times v squared, I'm multiplying, so I got to do the opposite and divide. So I get rf, or fr, divided by v squared equals m. You know, there are other procedures that we can do to solve these. Like, I could have divided by v squared, then multiplied each side by r, or I could have done both of them at the same time. Okay, there are many ways that you can do this to solve it. Next one is solve for b. Now, a lot of people would say we need to distribute the 5/2, okay, to both those terms. That will get you there. So you could distribute 5/2 times b and times negative 20 over negative 20, and then you'd have to move that term. It'd be 50, then divide by 5/2. I think there's a little quicker way, okay, without distributing. So think about it. You know, you have 5/2, and you're multiplying it to b and negative 20. So you're distributing or multiplying. Well, to get rid of multiplication, you have to divide. Well, you divide by 5/2, but when you divide by a fraction, you're actually multiplying by the reciprocal. So times 2/5. Okay, so whenever you divide by fractions, you're actually multiplying by the reciprocal. So here, on the right side, these will simplify to 1 because they multiply to 1. So you're left with b minus 20. And on the left side, you have 2/5 a. Because our goal is to get b all by itself. So now, how do I get this b all by itself? I have to add 20 to both sides. So I have 2/5 a plus 20 equals b. So instead of distributing, I did the opposite distribution and divided, but that's actually multiplying by the reciprocal. Then I had to add 20 to both sides. We have one more problem I want to go through. It's very similar to that last one. You want to solve for b. Well, if you notice, b is on the inside of those parentheses. So you have to get rid of the terms that are on the outside of the parentheses first. So just like that last one, instead of distributing the 1/3, distribution is multiplying, I'm going to divide. Well, when I divide by a fraction, it's actually multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'd have 3a equals b plus c times d. So remember, we still want to get b all by itself. Well, we still have a term on the outside of the equal sign. Okay, we got to get rid of that d. Remember, that's kind of like the last one. We're distributing, so that's multiplication, so we have to divide. So now we have 3a over d equals b plus c. Because these d's canceled out. Now we just need to get b all by itself, so we have to subtract c. So I have 3a over d. I'm sorry, I'm going to rewrite this. 3a all over d minus c equals b. So transforming equations is just changing them around, getting a different letter all by itself. Don't get confused with having all those letters. Okay, so take it one step at a time. Think about, okay, what do you have to get all by itself? Then work your way to the end. Okay? Have a good day. Make sure if you have any questions on that homework, please ask. Okay?